But just taking a quick look at the Zerg economy, we can see his main just is almost mined out. I mean, it has patches, but it only has like 6 drones on it. His natural has like 3 drones. His expansions are the only ones though that are fully saturated, and he's only pumping Hydralisk. I mean, there's no unit composition and no diversity in his unit count. So, I mean, it's just hard to win against the Toss with this much diversity in his play.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree.
This Hydralisk break is huge. I mean, there was like 30 Hydralisks and took out, like, it beasted on 6 cannons and a Reaver, but the probes, just like always, have completely stopped it with like a handful of Zealots coming in.
Yeah, he needs to. I think he needs to build like at least some Zerglings, especially if he's going to try and break the front, just because it's a more balanced force, and a small choke makes it hard to like fully utilize all the Hydras when he attacks. I also would have liked to see maybe some more observers from Jumper, just to give him a little better scouting, or like at least roam around with the Corsairs. I'm sure he knows by now that Bface has expanded elsewhere, but he hasn't really tried seeking it out yet.
I think, given what he's seen, that the Hydralisk is the right move right now. I mean, the Zealots don't have speed, and if he's going to be fighting against carriers, I think it's a good unit to use.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like this trade that just happened. The Toss took out the main, but Zerg has taken out 2 expansions. I like it for Zerg, but I don't really favor it for Toss at all. Considering he has one base that has patches left and 1 Hydralisk is just wreaking havoc on that mineral line.
Yeah, definitely. He's going to need some really good carrier micro to be able to come out of this and somehow pull off a victory. But at Bface, he's got those 2 extra bases. Meanwhile, Jumper is not mining minerals at all right now. If Bface can just hold him off, kill those carriers, keep macroing, then he can win this.
Yeah, I think this is another reason why I'm not really that big a fan of carriers, because it really leaves like a big gap in what you can do. So you're quite vulnerable for a certain period of time until you reach like a critical mass with carriers, and you see that Bface is really taking advantage of this and really push the aggression and made sure that Jumper hasn't really been able to touch his economy after that, until the carriers actually started to attack.
That's true. I mean, in a situation like that, you would think 3 carriers couldn't do that much damage, but apparently they're just going around steamrolling Zerg. And Zerg even has enough Hydralisk to take down that 3 carriers, but it's just Zerg is just completely ignoring it, going straight for the main. I don't think that's a good idea, but what do you guys think?
Oh, this is looking to be a very good trade for Jumper. If he takes out these 2 bases over here, this leaves Bface to one place where he can mine. And he only has 1 drone mining there, and there aren't that many minerals left. So if he plays his cards right, he could still be in this game, and I mean, who knows what can happen. This is a very good game, to be honest.
Typically in a situation like this, Zerg wouldn't want to attack or counter-attack a main that's been completely mined out. He would want to stay in his expansion, defend it enough so you can produce more units, but he's completely denied all logic. I mean, he just went off the beaten path.
Well, the main didn't have a whole lot. I think it would have been much better to just send part of the Hydralisk force into the main, and he still could have taken it all out while still defending his other bases.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And he's going to try to kill more probes again, but these 6 cannons here at Jumper's base, they're pretty tough. It's amazing how much 3 carriers can do, to be honest. they're pretty good units, to say the least. So we're going to see how he can control these. And don't forget that he also has those D-webs that he can throw in anytime he wants, and that really messes up Hydralisk armies. Because Hydralisks tend to clump together, and it's easy to lay down a big disruption web all over there.
But you gotta give it to Zerg. I mean, he did have some awesome counters regardless. I mean, Toss looked like he was in a winning situation with like 4 expansions. He had this money, he had Reavers, he had everything, but Zerg still came back. I mean, those counters were brutal.
Yeah, definitely. And I think this is setting the tone for the series. I mean, they had huge armies, but look at the supply now. Protoss has 41, Zerg has 36. This is really a really good game. Props to Dabu for setting up this Tournament of Champions GameFAQs 2009 for making it a success.
It seems like Zerg's main focus here is just to prevent the Protoss from mining anymore.
I think the thing is that he's trying to stop Protoss from being able to produce those interceptors since he only has those 3 carriers, but I think in a situation like this, it's tough.
Yeah, definitely. We see that, plenty of Scourge. Oh, but they all get taken out by Quizzers. Wow. Those Scourge could have taken out all the carriers, and it would have been game over, maybe. But, wow. What a break for Jumper, to be honest. And look at just think about the unluckiness for Bface.
Yeah, wow. I think this was a mistake on the Zerg's part in trying, like his Hydralisks after taking out the main didn't really do much afterwards, and honestly at this point the Protoss doesn't have any tech and very little room to build anything, so I think he should have stayed back. If he had his Hydras at that expansion where the Scourge were being built, I think he would have stood a better chance.
I'm surprised this game has only stretched to 27 minutes. It felt like a 50-minute long game, but I guess that's mainly because we've had so many back and forth battles.
Yeah, this game was surprisingly close, and I'm really impressed by both sides and their reactions to each other's moves. I think it played out pretty well. Made for an exciting match.
Yeah, definitely. And it's not over yet. I mean, these two still have plenty of units. And Bface is still trying to stop this carrier army. These carriers, they have a lot of kills. One has 29 and the other 2 have 17. And those kills are just going to keep going up as they can abuse all of the cliffs on this map and whatnot. There's plenty of cliffs to abuse.
You gotta give it to Zerg. I mean, you can't say he didn't try. This guy is putting in as much effort as any other Zerg. And it's tough to lose a game like this.
Yeah, it must be pretty frustrating. I remember playing countless games against Protoss. Granted, I wasn't Zerg, I was Terran, but dealing with carriers is such a pain.
So, what do you guys think? If you were in Bface's shoes or sandals or whatever he wears, what do you think you would have done differently to possibly change the outcome?
The only thing I might have added was some Devourers in my unit count, but I mean that's just because the Toss was really, putting an emphasis on these Sayers, and so it could have slowed him down to possibly try to come back. I mean, it could have made a difference, but I don't know.